Hello, internet. I thought we were gonna do the pre the video we do of
No
all the things and
video,
stuff.
only
Gotcha.
stream.
All right. Hello, everyone. You can tell tonight's gonna be a little weird. It's we're just gonna, it's a Tuesday. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tabletop Tuesday. Um, yeah, it's been a while. Life has gotten in the way, but and as you can see, we don't have a Tyler tonight, but the rest of us are here to kick life's ass and play a dang game. Um, so yeah, we've got a lot going on the channel. Let's see. Thursday is going to be more Elegant Magics, which has been full of drama lately. Very good, very juicy drama. Last time we all played Truth or Truth, nude in a hot spring. Um, and if you lied, you had the chance of blowing up. So that's been very exciting there. Friday we've got Neon Souls. Saturday is going to be session 1 of season 2 of Star Power, which is now in the Fate system. They've also done timey-wimey shenanigans, so even if you didn't watch season 1, you'll still be good to hop into season 2 and pick up there. Sunday should be back with more of Thursday's Children. Last weekend, the GM was out of the picture, so they did some good old monster camp that LB was in, and lots of smooching some monsters. And then that'll take us back around to next Tuesday, where we should be continuing with Call of Cthulhu that David runs. And I think that's basically it in terms of the channel schedule. As always, keep an eye on our Twitter or our Discord where we announce when we're doing things and stuff. Anyone got things they would like to plug before we begin? And if not, at least tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Kevin, go. David, sorry.
Yeah. I'm David. I'm playing Kevin, aka Chrysalis, the Transformed. And yeah, nothing going. Just playing this.
Cool. Hi, everybody. I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches. I stream a lot on my channel, and I also stream a lot on this channel. So check out my schedule on Twitter to see all that stuff. Next time I'm going to be live is on Friday, doing Friday Night Frights. We're going to play a horror game. Which one? I don't even know.
Hey, everybody. I'm Wings.
Oh, sorry. I'm playing Subrina, the outsider. Her hero name's Corbin. It's my fault it's a trash fire. It's my fault.
Sorry, I heard a silence and I was all like, oh god, it's me! Ah! Hi everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventure stream. I'm going to be playing as Chloe tonight. Her hero name is Hemlock, and her playbook is The Doomed.
And I'm Alex. I'm the GM running the show tonight, or, attempting to herd the cats. That is the energy that we have here this evening. I'm here on this channel Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays. I'm not in Saturday Night Star Power, but I am in Saturday Night's Mistborn, which we are starting our session 1 of that 2 Saturdays from now, not the Saturday, the next one. And that is based, the Mistborn adventure game based on the books of the same name by Brandon Sanderson. Very good fantasy series. All but one of us involved in that game have read the books and so are very excited. It's a very fun world and we're excited to try this new system. But here we are tonight. We're back with Masks, Squire Squad. And for the first time in, oh gosh, maybe half a dozen sessions, time has passed, which is a mechanic in Masks. The primary purpose of that is that the team pool gets reset to 1. And, if you remember from last time, they were up to, 6, 7, or 8 in their last time. So now they're down to 1, technically 2, because at the start of each session, the GM adds 1 to the pool. But in addition to that, players are also welcome to clear 1 condition of their choice. For free over the intervening time. If you would like to clear more conditions, we can come up with scenes for why that may have happened in the interim time. We're saying it's been about a month or so since the spring fling, which was a very exciting time as you all helped figure out why the most popular kid in school, Jade, was causing their fellow schoolmates who very much wanted to ask them to the spring fling to manifest superpowers. And after, isolating them at their house and having some diehard fans come and still try to ask them out, uh, and with some of Subrina's alien technology, you were able to determine that Jade actually has a power themselves in that they essentially emit pheromones that if someone is very much infatuated with Jade, they will manifest powers. Um, so that is how that little plot line resolved. You also all finally went to the spring fling. Kevin going as Jade's date, Chloe and Flint going, together as pals, and Subrina going by herself. But in the middle of the dance, there was this strange manifestation of this shadowy entity that you all had somewhat encountered previously. Kevin, in particular, had gone out of his way to try and track this being down, and it showed up at the dance, kind of froze everyone, and said some very ominous and mysterious things towards all of you. It seemed like you were able to scare it away before it was able to hurt anyone or anything at the dance. Through judicious use of holding the fire alarm, as you do when you need to clear out, a high school event. Um, and once you were all outside, Sabrina having changed it into her Corvid persona, who should be there but Hector, aka the Golden Duke, returning for a surprise visit from his study abroad exchange program in Korea. He was only there for the one night, but was able to spend that night with Sabrina at the dance. Um, and so, yeah, it has now been a month or so since the spring fling. We're coming up on the tail end of the school year, probably another month or so left. Uh, Prom is in the not too distant future, but we are going to kind of ignore prom for the moment, seeing as we just dealt with the spring fling. But so, what have you all been getting up to in the meantime? And again, if you have more than one condition that you would like to clear, tell us what that condition is and how you would like to clear it, because it may involve, some role playing and repercussions from that. But if not, just tell us what have you been doing in the meantime since we last saw our heroes.
You're muted.
Call on someone.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna roll a D3 and roll 20. And I'm gonna do it left to right and roll 20. Okay, Kevin, what have you been up to?
All right. So if so, there hasn't been much in the way of like normal Squire Squad stuff, or
I mean, you've still been going out on patrols and stuff, and stopping the occasional pickpocket or mugging, but nothing, super villain worthy.
Okay.
You've probably dealt with Kai Jr. once or twice in the intervening month, but it's has not nearly been as successful as his Squire Squid infiltration attempt.
Okay. Yeah, then I think trying to find the shadow guy again at first, but I imagine that I don't have very much luck with that.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do an assess the situation roll.
Okay.
Just to kind of see how that went. So that will be a roll plus superior. And we're not really going to use the question list. We're just going to kind of, based on the roll, determine how successful you are or aren't.
An 8.
Okay, so that would be a mixed success. So I guess one question for you about this is, have you or any of the rest of you gone to the paladin specifically about this shadowy entity that you encountered, or has it just not come up yet for whatever reason? And if,
I think I probably would have gone to the paladins about it. I don't have any reason to distrust them.
mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So I'll say on a mixed success, there's definitely some concern from them, but you also get the feeling that it's not a super high priority, as so far, based on your recollection, no one has actually been hurt by the shadow, whatever it is, yet. And so it's definitely, a figure of interest, but the paladins have not been able to allocate basically any more resources than you to figuring out what is going on. So, you are, there have been check-ins, every week or so about, hey, anything new, and I don't think you are not aware that, how to how to phrase this. I'm falling into the corridor doesn't seem trapped trick, but yeah, as far as you have investigated, you have not run into the shadowy entity anymore since the spring fling.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if I'm not making any headway pretty quickly and I don't have any kind of new leads to it, I think I just pivot to like my normal thing, which is, kind of my superhero backstory of trying to find my dad and figure out what the heck happened to me to make me this way. But again, imagine not a lot of success. But throwing that one, I'm more willing to throw myself at the wall against, or for.
Okay. Yeah, and that is definitely something that the paladins have, spent some time with you on trying to figure that out. But again, it's, so far it seems like your personal quests are causing not a lot of stress, but the resources that the paladins have are spread thin, and there hasn't been much opportunity for them to assist you in these endeavors lately. And when we all come together, you will find out part of why that is. But yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I imagine I'm using mostly resources from my house and stuff, as my dad was kind of like a Tony Stark-esque figure. I figure I have some stuff lying around I can try and use, but
Yeah.
nothing that like grants superpower worthy. I don't have any moves about it, so
yeah. And so no breakthroughs. You probably figure out a couple more of his toys and how they work and how to use them safely, but nothing that's like, oh hey, this is the secret formula for the chemical X that we use to turn Kevin into Chrysalis.
Got it.
Anything else, or do you think that mostly covers?
Yeah, I think that mostly covers it.
Yeah. I will say one other thing, probably in the week or so following the spring fling, you would have gotten a text from Jade asking if you wanted to just hang out, maybe grab some coffee or something, but phrased in such a way that there is very little pressure, as no pressure as a high school hangout can be.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, I think Kevin would agree to do that. And like a terrified, like, I don't know how much he talks or anything, but I'm sure he goes there.
Gosh, let's see. Is there a role we can have you do for this?
Mundane.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, let's just roll plus mundane, and see how this goes. I don't know. Again, if it's either necessarily, oh dear, is literally what roll 20 said.
It's a 2.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's, as you were kind of saying, just a nervous wreck. And now that it's no longer the mission to, be around Jade and watching out for them, you just are at a loss. You probably crush some of the furniture in the coffee shop trying to settle in, and yeah, it's mostly a disaster. Certainly from your perspective, it is. You know, doesn't seem like Jade has any hard feelings, but it's just like, okay, yeah, this was an interesting excursion, and you have not heard back from them since then.
That's fine, as it should be.
Yeah, I mean, you still see them in the hallways at school, and they'll nod to you, but there have not been any subsequent invitations to hang out one-on-one.
All right, fine.
I will say you do get to mark experience for that failure.
Oh, yeah.
If only it was so obvious in high school when our failures gave us experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's worth it. It's worth it, 100%.
And that does kind of remind me, we were talking about a little before stream, that if any of you did get enough experience for advancements, you can take those at any time, and feel free to let us know if and when you take one of those. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. For the other two, do either of you want to volunteer, or should I call on someone again?
I'll volunteer.
The tribute is accepted.
Chloe is gonna lean hard into her, and now you start screaming, like immediately, right when I start talking. Okay.
He knows.
He knows. Chloe is going to lean hard into her hero career. She's gonna spend a lot of she's gonna spend a lot of time practicing her powers. She's going on patrols with the squad, and then when the squad's done going on patrols, maybe she stays out for maybe an extra hour. She's really hitting it hard, and she is going at it with a lot of fervor. This is something that she really wants to be good at, and she's finding a lot of fulfillment in. So she's doing that, and then every other moment is basically spent playing catch up to make it seem to her parents like nothing has changed. So she's also working really hard on her schoolwork. So basically it's just hero work, schoolwork, back and forth. There's no social life in between.
Okay. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost think you were playing the Janice playbook. But yeah. Gosh, let's see. I'm trying to think, because one of your doom markers is overexerting yourself. Do you think you have done so in this time?
I think we could put it up to a roll and find out.
Okay. What would be an appropriate role for this? Because I'm trying not to look at your stats and be like, okay, you've got this bonus or this penalty to it, but I mean, you've been using your powers a lot, so maybe we should do the, unleash your powers, a freak roll.
Okay. But and
should get back to the chat.
That's a 9.
Okay, so mixed success. Yeah, I think it's not going to be enough to mark your doom track anymore, but you are getting kind of a sense of or rather, no, I think with a mixed success like that, it's not enough to mark your doom track, but you don't fully know where that line is yet, where
Right.
it's going to be overexerting yourself. If you'd had a full success, then yeah, you probably would have figured that out. But you're still very much in the like, these are powers and they're cool and da 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 da. And so yeah,
All right.
there's that. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else that has been for Chloe specifically in the intervening time. I think your fervor in your duties is noted, and there's even been a mostly subtle comment from one of the paladins of they are aware that you are going out on your own, and some gentle discouragement from both going out on your own and pushing yourself so hard with your newfound powers. It is up to you how Chloe takes this, whether she dials it back at all or completely scoffs at it and ignores their advice. But they're not going to force you to do anything. But the paladins are aware of how much effort you've been putting in, for better or for worse.
She takes it under advisement. I think that like she basically hears what she wants to hear, which is like she's been hearing the like don't push yourself too hard, don't overexert yourself. Like she's been hearing that her whole life. So she basically just takes that and goes like I can like it's like I care that you care about me. And she doesn't say it to their faces, but like internally she's all like I know what's best for me. I can handle this.
All right. Okay. Just taking down some notes. All right. Unless there's anything else you would like to address, I think that brings us to Subrina.
That's me. I think that Subrina is spending time with Chloe, helping her like get into her power. She's super excited that Chloe's got powers now and that they can hang out and talk about power stuff. I think that she spends time. I think she spends time with everyone. Like that's kind of just what she does. Like she'll just show up at Kevin's place and be like, "We're gonna go get ice cream. Let's go." Or let's go for a walk because Kevin can't eat. But like that sort of stuff. And but I think that like if we have a lot of downtime, I think a lot of our downtime is spent researching and working on her communications device to find her home planet, because she doesn't know where she's from. A lot of, I know in the backstory, a lot of her when she was very young when she came to Earth and was like transported here, and she basically she knows the layout of the planets, but she doesn't. They call their planet something completely different than what we would call it, and I think I decided in my last playing of Subrina that they had either just been discovered or hadn't yet been discovered, but she'll do research on that and work on that communications device to try and use her DNA to get a fix on whomever.
Sure, yeah.
Her parent, her single parent, because they reproduce asexually. I have a whole thing.
They're like
my
Namekians.
Yeah, my cousin is a aerospace. She's a space scientist, and she told me all about this planet, and it rotates with the sun, so there's like the habitable line, and that's where she lived. I have a whole thing.
Okay, this sounds to me like it would be an assess the situation roll to see how much progress is made, so that's a plus superior.
All right. It's a 10!
Okay, that's a full hit.
Yay!
I think
I found my family. I'm going home. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I mean,
That's
part
it.
of the
Have a good
Outsider's
one, guys.
playbook.
We'll see.
Um,
Yeah,
okay.
my moment of truth is my people come here.
Mhm. So I think this is my first instinct, and let me know how you feel about this. I
Okay.
think it is, yes, you and whoever you're working on this with have found your system, but it is, so far away that, even at light speed, it's going to be a while before any communications can go back and forth.
Okay, cool. Yeah. When that happens, Chloe and Kevin do not hear the end of it. If we want to play that out, we can. But
that sounds like it would be a fun scene for you all to do, especially because it gives me time to take notes.
Yeah. I think Kevin gets a text message. Well, no, she's just gonna text the group and she's gonna say, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I found it.
I'll just respond with like a question mark.
Yay! Exclamation point. What did you find?
And she says, I need to show you. Come to my house. Stat.
All right.
I imagine Chloe's like already out doing like a solo patrol like she's not supposed to. So she's like, if I take this street, then it can seem like that it took me a little bit longer to get there. Yeah, let's do that.
Take a long way.
Yep.
All right, yeah. I'll just float on over.
Kevin goes to knock on the door, and the door opens, and she just grabs his arm and pulls him inside. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. And she, like, pulls you over. There's this, like, map on the table, and then on the computer, there's, like 4 computer screens up on the wall. And she, like, there's solar systems and all that sort of stuff. There's, like, planetary stuff on it. And she just points at one of them. One of the planets.
Oh. I think context clues I can figure out. Oh, like, that's... you. So you found it.
I found it!
Oh, okay.
I said, Julian, that's enough. I found it.
How?
That's it.
Okay, how far away is it?
Oh.
So with the, light speed communication, the first message you've sent, you're not even sure if it's reached there yet. You certainly haven't gotten anything back. So it's probably at least a week there and back for
at light
speed. Yeah.
At light speed, that's like...
I don't know enough about
really
actual solar
close.
System stuff.
The closest solar system to ours is 4 light years away. So it would take 4 years to get there.
That's going to be not as fun to play out if it takes that long for any communication.
Right.
So there's,
it's science.
There's
because she's using her DNA, it's not like a transmission in the light speed sense. It's like a different kind because it was like a portal that brought her here.
It's almost quantum, and there are gravitational anomalies along the way.
You just do Star Trek. It's subspace.
Yeah.
Subspace transmission. It'll get there when it gets
was
there.
Like real space.
Is that what they did?
Yes.
It's like, like the donut hole where like the 2 pieces of space meet. It's all like, we're sending it through that donut hole.
So
that's true. Yeah, there could be like a wormhole nearby that you send it to that comes out, and then it's like only a week away, and you could just be normal light speed.
That's the actual science word.
Yeah. Actually,
none of us have PhDs in astrophysics. Don't add us, internet.
Yeah, I'll ask my cousin. I actually have the planet that it was. I'll link it in the chat. It is Trappist 1E.
I mean, it's tidally locked, so I don't want to go there.
No.
That's all I know.
Like I said, I did a lot of research for this for no reason. This is. I will. Let's see. This is.
Everyone backstories in a different way. You have a whole doc.
Yeah.
I do no backstory and just go from there.
It's 12 parsecs, so 400 or 40 light years.
Whoa! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely like a wormhole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's just gonna be like, "That's it," and there's the sun. Well, our sun, not your sun. But yeah, that's my planet.
All right. So I'm seeing like an image of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the next step?
Well, I need to contact them. My parent was a big scientist, and that's kind of how I ended up here. There was an accident, and that's how like the portal opened, and I was like pushed into this place they call CERN, and then so I need to contact Jessie. She's the one who she's the one who kind of raised me for a little bit, and then I came here to work with the US government. But yeah, I need to talk to her so that we sent out a message, but it's going to take a while for it to get there because like, you know, subspace and stuff. But hopefully my parent can like hear it and then I don't know. Oh my gosh. Should I go back or should I stay here? Maybe they should come here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if they have wormholes and stuff, how fast does your ship go?
Oh, well, I don't know. In space. I've never taken it out.
Oh.
It was more of like, it was built from stuff that I already had. I didn't actually bring the whole ship with me when I came here.
So you know how to build a spaceship?
I mean, kind of. I had some of the supplies anyways.
And you were how old when you came here?
In Earth years? 6.
What about your years? Like, what about maturity level? Were you still a child?
Yeah. I mean, yes. But our planet goes a lot faster around the sun. Our sun. Okay. Yeah. I think it, hold on. I went around my sun 930 or 960 times. I'm sorry. I did that wrong. I was 16 when I came here. No, I think Alex, did we decide this how young I was when I came here?
I remember you were still relatively young because you've been working with, as you said, the U.S. government for how long at this point?
Like 4 years. Okay,
so yeah.
So if I'm 17 Earth years now.
Yeah, so you would have been maybe 12 or 13 in Earth years when you came through.
Yeah. So I was in the peak phases of learning on my planet.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So, I mean, okay.
Sounds of plants writhing at the door, and like Chloe walks in.
Chloe! And she just grabs Chloe's wrist and like pulls her over the and points at the screen. I found it!
Whoa, what did we find? What are we looking at?
That's my home planet.
Oh. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You didn't know where that you've been. Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, because they hadn't discovered it yet. This is new. I mean, it's new for you guys. Like, we had discovered it because we lived there.
Okay. Okay. This is pretty big for you, huh?
Yeah. But like, it's really far away, and what we did is probably going to take a while for it to get there, and then it's going to take a while for a message to come back. But I found it.
Well, that's really good. Should we get ice cream?
At that moment, Flint arrives. There's ice cream?
Flint! Science! And she pulls him and does the same thing.
He doesn't understand it. He's like, wait, you're not from Earth?
You're not from Earth?
He's so silly. Yes, ice cream. Or something better than ice cream, something bigger. We could go get cupcakes.
That seems wrong. I'm not going to eat it, but that seems like a wrong opinion to me.
There are definitely artisanal cupcake stores.
Chloe definitely knows the location of like an artisanal like cupcake eatery. Is something super hipster.
Now we have to come up with a punny name for this store.
Well, it's gotta have like a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of is that one episode of the new Animaniacs where they went to like the hipster donut place.
Yeah.
Cupo cake. Like cupo noodle, but it's cake.
Would that be artisanal or would that be like fast food cupcakes?
Yeah.
Well, you eat it with chopsticks.
Gross.
Mm-mm.
It's a deconstructed cupcake.
Exactly. Like it's just little sponge cake cubes that
What
look
if
like
it's-
tofu.
What if it's just fat cakes, but it's with a PH?
Oh. That'll do it.
Yeah. All right. So you all head out to Fat Cakes. And I think my other question with all this is, how are your Earth parents, the FBI agents, Danae and Tyler, handling this revelation?
That's a good question. I feel like they're almost like older siblings to her than they are like parent figures, because she is like very, like, she just does everything by herself anyways. But
I
I'm
need
sure
a mental
other
image for these guys. Like, are they?
look
they,
in a
like,
goddamn mirror. No.
Are they? Oh, okay. I'm like, are they like stealth? Like, do they actually like pass as like regular ass parents?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
do
thinking
we walk
like
into the kitchen and is it two FBI agents in suits and sunglasses and earpieces, wearing like an apron and like putting a pipe in their mouth? Like, yes, child.
no. I think I picture like typical Midwest parents. Like they're a real couple in real life.
Gotcha.
But like when it comes to like, they're very good at like when she's in public, like, now honey, you need to do, like almost like a TV show parent.
Right.
But
right.
when they're like in person, it's very much more like a sibling relationship where they're like, oh, are you going out tonight? Okay, just call if you're gonna be late, like that sort of thing.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm digging it.
But do you think, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, are they 100% fully supportive? Is it there's also, well, this may be more a decision for me to make, whether or not it's like as soon as you all leave, they're on the phone to Washington.
Yeah, I think it would be, anything that she's doing is gonna be reported. So I'm assuming it's got to be sanctioned in some way, or it's got to, like, they have to know.
It sounds like there's a duality to these people to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like this is the scene where we realize that, like, they're different in public with you. They're different when they're alone with you. But, like, now we realize they're also different when you're away.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
So I guess my question then is, as soon as you were like, I found it and explained to them what you found, were they immediately like, oh shit, we gotta call this in? Or were they, like, oh, this is, such good news and da-da-da-da-da?
Yeah,
and then
I
she
think
leaves and then they call it in.
That's what I think it is. I think they're like, oh, that's great. Like, they're genuinely happy for me, but also they have to do their job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it depends on how the government wants to take it, but also, like, Yeah, this is great. If the government tells us to shut this down, we gotta do it. Sorry.
Right. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make you roll for that later, because I'm the GM. I don't roll anything in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the audience gets to see basically as soon as the four of you are out the door on your way to Fat Cakes that they are, whipping out their work laptops and work phones, and it's just
Speed dial.
yeah, the
So-
situation has evolved.
Yep.
Do I overhear anything with super senses?
No, because they are aware of you, and so they wait until you are at least theoretically outside of their range.
All right, so it's just laptops until.
Yeah.
Just hear a lot of clicking.
Right.
Unless you think that Kevin is paranoid enough to be thinking of this in this moment and is trying to extend his senses to listen in on them.
No, I don't think so.
That's what I figured, but just raising the possibility. All right, now we're at Fat Cakes. Do we come up with the most absurd artisanal cupcakes that we can, or should we move on to other things? Is this something that we think is worth doing in this
Candied
moment?
bacon. There's candied bacon on it.
All right, so candied bacon. What is the base of the cupcake?
Maple.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has
Is
to be
it basically
maple.
a pancake cupcake?
Ooh, maybe with what about with like a blueberry? Like there's the frosting is blueberry, so it's like a blueberry pancake.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so maple base, blueberry frosting, candied bacon. Doesn't sound too terrible, though I'm not sure how the consistency is. Any others, or do you all go in for these cupcakes?
Chloe is going to have like a weird like the greenest cupcake that they have. It's like matcha and like saffron or something strange like that.
Nice.
All right. Those are
Sabrina-
not flavors I know at all. But
It's going to be so expensive. Saffron is so expensive.
It's green tea.
it's
the green
synthetic
tea cupcake.
saffron. It's
Yeah.
super cheap now.
I think Sabrina goes in for the most sugary of the cupcakes. It is a cotton candy based with a whipped. The icing is bubblegum flavor. With it has like a actual thing of cotton candy on top and a bubblegum on top of that.
I love that.
So as they're leaving, Sabrina is chewing bubblegum and blowing bubbles.
It's adorable. I love it.
All right.
You know, I didn't really think about, like, if I found my planet, what I would do. Because, like, I've lived here for so long. Maybe I could do both. Maybe I could, like, spend half the year here and go to school and then go back to my planet for half the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically be an exchange student.
Yeah. I don't know if we have that technology, but maybe.
It's a nice thought.
Yeah, I mean, you like teleported here or wormhole over here?
My parent was doing an experiment and I was helping them with it, and it kind of blew up, and I kind of got sent through a portal and ended up here.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's lucky that they're so close that we could find them.
Yeah. I mean, they're really far away, like really far away, but like they're close, kinda.
Did like any of the stuff you pull up show that it was like 40 light years away?
She would have said.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's actually very, very, very close.
Is it?
So, I mean, in terms of stars, yes.
That's even
Right.
better.
You could have been in another galaxy, and then we would
That's
have
true.
never, ever imaged your planet. Like,
What? What if I had teleported into just space?
Yeah, that's also like the most likely scenario, right?
Yeah.
So
No, it had something to do with the experiments they were running at CERN, which I can't talk about.
That doesn't sound ominous.
So it
The
had
French
something to do with something going on our end?
No, I think it was just like a combination of the two.
Well, now I want to know what we were doing on our end.
I can't say. The French government was very specific.
The French?
The French.
Okay. Got to take notes now. Okay, the French government.
All right, everyone, get your cork boards and red string ready.
I didn't even know that we had to be worried about the French.
Well,
I mean, we don't.
It's
right?
the French and the Swedish. The French and the Swedish people like both own CERN. I mean, they both work there, and then like they bring in Americans sometimes, and that's my friend Jessie. That's where she came from.
French government and possibly the Swedes. Okay.
Wait, why are you taking notes, Kevin? Why am I so concerned about this? Did I say something wrong?
No, I just didn't know any of this before, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. It's a really big place. There's like bunkers underground and everything.
Bunkers under CERN.
That's where I lived for like a year and a half.
Okay.
They're very nice.
All right.
Is this the Area 51 of France?
I don't know, I've never been there. Do you want to go to Area 51? I could probably get us in.
I have conflicting emotions about that.
Flint says, well, shouldn't we go to the other 50 areas first?
God damn it!
You're playing Flint better than Tyler. Stop.
Bless.
Oh my god.
We're skipping ahead.
Yeah, we're skipping to the good ones.
Oh, are these the speedrun strats?
Yeah! Oh my god.
Is that why there are those videos of those guys running weird at Area 51? Is that them speedrunning?
No. That's for aerodynamics. That's how they run faster.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
I thought that...
No, people run that way because in animes, they don't want to animate their arms moving. So they just have them run like that.
Oh my god, is that what they do?
Mine told me it made me go faster.
I have lost track of how much of this is in character and out of character.
In character for me.
Yeah.
That's my secret cap.
I'm always in character.
I'm always in character.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right. Is there anything else people want to get up to over this this break period?
I think Subrina might have a conversation with Chloe about Flint.
Okay.
Just in a like a slumber party situation, I think.
Okay.
That Subrina definitely invited herself to.
All right. When you show up, Chloe, gosh, I almost called her Hemlock. I mean, like, she is Hemlock, but like, not in this
The
situation.
Batman Bruce Wayne situation already.
Exactly. It's like she's definitely like really stuck in on like a hardcore study sesh. I think she might be like cramming for an exam, like finals are coming up and stuff. And like she lets you in. Like mostly internally, she's thinking like, I need to show my parents that I have a social life, or else they're gonna start trying. They're gonna start snooping and trying to get me to do other stuff that I don't want to do. So it's all like, okay, yeah, you could hang out.
She has showed up with like a sleeping bag on her back like rolled up. She's got her pillow under her arm and a stuffed animal under her other one, and she's like, awesome! Like pulls in, rolls out the sleeping bag, and then she pulls out like 5 DVDs, and she's like, so I rented some of the classic horror films that I was told that we should watch. But like, I've never seen a horror film before, so I hope they're not too scary, but it should be fine, right? They're like old.
She'll like take the stack from you and start looking through them. And she'll look at one and then look at you and then like just start sorting out which ones we should not be watching. It's a very large stack.
And so like later after we've watched like a movie, had some popcorn, I think Sabrina's like laying on her pillow with her like feet up in the air behind her, and she's like kicking, and she's like, so you don't like Flint, right? You said that'd be weird, right?
When you say like, you mean in a romantic sense, right?
Yeah.
No.
Right. Why?
We grew up together.
Oh.
We're basically like brother and sister.
Oh, okay. But, like, has he ever liked anyone?
Flint?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Does he
I
like
don't think he
anyone now?
knows if he's liked someone.
Why not?
Because he doesn't have the emotional maturity to recognize that.
What do you mean?
I still got some growing up to do.
Oh. Have you ever liked someone?
Next question.
Come on, it's a slumber party, you have to say.
Is that the slumber party rules?
Yes, obviously. Haven't you watched any movie from the 80s?
She like
the 80s being like close to 60 or 70 years ago at this point.
She rolls her eyes and she like shuts her book. I want to say it's like history or something. And she says, "No,
Never?
I've never actually liked someone."
Really?
Really?
My gosh, I get crushes all the time. Wow. Well, okay. I was just wondering, do you know if Flint has a crush on anyone?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
I can't ask him.
You just asked me.
Yeah, because you're my friend. Well, I mean, he's my friend too, but like, you're like my close best friend.
That's hilarious. Sorry. I think that she like sort of like rolls her neck a little bit, and she says, "You know, you can ask him too."
Isn't that like kind of like hard to do?
I guess it can be.
I don't know if I'm brave enough for that.
Well, maybe one day you will be.
Maybe. Have you ever kissed someone?
No.
Do you want to?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Actual blushing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I sorry, I didn't mean to make you upset. I just, I know my first kiss was like a really cool thing. And kissing's kind of fun, so.
I don't have time for kissing.
Why not?
She like has pushed back enough at this point that like the hackles have raised a little bit, and I think that she like just sort of like huffs, sits up, and she's like, "Do you really want to know?"
Yes?
She like, gets up and like makes sure that the door is shut so that her parents can't hear. And then she goes and like kind of like shuts the curtains. And she goes and sits back down again. And she says, I'm kind of sick.
Like you have a cold?
Yeah, kind of, but like forever.
Like you have like lupus?
No, it's never lupus. It doesn't really matter what it is. The doctors haven't really been able to figure it out, but they're all pretty convinced that I'm not going to make it.
What do you mean you're not going to make it?
This is why I don't like talking about this.
Sorry.
I've got an expiration date.
Do you know when?
Not really. They seem pretty convinced that I'm not going to make it very far past 20.
Whoa.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Listen, I've been through this. I have made my peace. And right now, all I want to do is just make as much of a difference as I can.
But what about fun? What about doing things that make you happy?
I am happy.
Why are you going to school?
Because I want to have a normal life, okay?
Normal lives involve kissing, and relationships, and getting caught in the rain.
You think I should get caught in the rain?
I mean, yeah. You should do things that are like in the movies.
I just don't think it'd be very fair to, whoever I wind up kissing.
You can kiss me. I mean, I could be anyone.
But that's, I don't think that's very...
Is that an ethical thing? Is that an ethical thing that I shouldn't do that?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Sometimes I get confused about that because, like, taking other people's faces is kind of weird. You can kiss yourself?
I'm good.
Look, I just think, I mean, like, kissing isn't everything, but, like, you should at least try it once. You don't have to do it with me. I'm just saying in general. Kissing's, like, fun and important, and it's something every, like, teen goes through.
I'm focusing on other things right now.
Like what? Your history paper? Who cares what grade you get? Who cares? I just don't understand why you're going to school. I have to because my government makes me, but why are you going to school?
I'm going to school because, assuming that I do make it farther than they say that I'm going to, and I'm trying very hard to do that, I want to make as much progress as possible on research to prevent this from happening to anybody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. I'll accept that as an answer. But you still need to kiss someone.
I don't have to kiss anybody.
Well, yeah, you do. I've said it, so it has to happen. Not right now, not like soon, but before, you know? Like, maybe before we graduate.
So you're telling me that I have to kiss somebody before I graduate?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not agreeing to this.
Why not? You just told me, your best friend in the world, that you are dying. And this is my only wish for you.
You don't get to make the wishes. I'm the one that's dying.
Well, that doesn't seem fair.
Oh my god. I think that she actually does start laughing at this point.
See?
You're so weird.
I'm an alien.
If I promise that I'm gonna at least try to kiss somebody before we graduate, will you drop it?
Only on this condition. You have to try, and if you don't, you have to kiss me.
She like turns around, there's like an entire face journey. Okay, fine, deal.
Yes! She puts her hand out and like shakes it. Makes you shake her hand.
Deal with that fucking alien devil.
But I'm not having sex with you.
No!
I'm just saying. Just a kiss.
Can I study history now?
Yes. But you have to put in the next movie.
Gotcha. Invasion of Body Snatchers.
Hey. Maybe I can help with... I don't really know a lot about bioengineering. But, I mean, maybe there's something that I have that can help with research stuff, since I have, like, that alien tech.
You know, I might take you up on that.
Good. She, like, rolls back over on her stomach and holds her stuffed animal and kicks her feet as she's watching the movie. She gets very scared. And she has to sleep with Chloe.
Bless. Chloe gets some more homework done now, but a lot more distracted.
Sorry, not sorry.
I've got to mark my Doom track now.
Yes, you do, because you have openly talked about your Doom.
I made it worse, no!
But you don't know this. We're not even sure if Chloe knows this yet.
Doom, 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 doom.
All right, you are one away from ticking off the Doom track.
Yay!
Which,
I'm so sorry.
For those of you unfamiliar with the Doomed, when you fill up the Doom track, the Doom then takes another Doom sign, which is a pretty powerful ability. But then using the Doom signs, lets you, use more powers and stuff. But it also accelerates your Doom as you use them. So we will get to see more of that. But I think now is probably a good time for us to take our break. So it has been a wild first half of the game. So don't go anywhere. We're going to refresh ourselves, get your water, use the restroom, take your meds if you need to, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for sticking with us. We are refreshed and ready to go. And we'll see if this second half is as buck wild as the first half was. All right. So we are now firmly in that, end of that month later pseudo time skip. And you all have been called into Paladin's HQ for a regular briefing update, though this is something you've had before. Usually just an update on what's been happening in the city, things to be aware of. But this one is, well, no, I mean, this is just kind of like a monthly one that happens, and you're all in kind of a little, lecture hall style room in Paladin's HQ. And this is the Squire's briefing, so it's the three of you there. Flint is not there. You're not sure why. If you've tried to reach out to him, he has been unresponsive. Though it's you just saw him the other day, so it's he hasn't been out of contact long, but you couldn't wait around for him, and so just came to the briefing. You see most of the other squires in the city in the room with you. Um, some of them you have worked briefly with before. Others, you've never run into, because there are quite a number of you. But as the three of you kind of settle in, and it's Athenis giving the update, and she approaches the podium, presses the clicker, the lights dim, and the screen turns on, and she says, "All right, squires, it's time for your monthly update. Now, this month we do have a bit more focused news for you all. Let me change the music so it is more suitable. We have some updates on the, well, we'll start with the important stuff. We'll get into the, the boring statistics later. But to start, we have seen increased activity from 3 of the local supervillain gangs in the city. And these are the ones that obviously continue to elude capture through various methods. First, we have the Foundry, which, as you know, is primarily responsible for putting weapons, both mundane and high-tech, into the hands of criminals in the city. We believe they have just received a new shipment of weapons that they are preparing to distribute throughout the city. We will see about tasking some of you with tracking down how they're bringing the shipments into the city, and some of you with trying to stop the sales. But otherwise, just be aware you may encounter more high-tech weaponry in the near future. Next, we have the group known as Whisper, and when she was talking about the Foundry, there's pictures of trucks and some sample weaponry that has been taken. When she brings up the slide for Whisper, it is backslash and then the word whisper, but with no vowels in it. I've put it in the Roll20 chat. This group is essentially the dark web here in Port Arbor, but they primarily deal with the trading of illicit information and hacking. They very likely have dossiers on each and every one of you and your known power sets that they will sell to villains for the right price. So we have heard, pardon the pun, whispers of them being more active and villains seeking out their services lately. So be aware that activity from them is also on the rise. And then we have the warehouse, which this group has, and we're not entirely sure how, but they are responsible for the dissemination of illegal alien technology throughout the city. We're not sure if they have access to another plane where aliens have come through, or... Yes, Corvid?
Sorry, you answered my question. Sorry, Corvid. Sorry, you answered my question.
Yes. these are simply theories for how they could have acquired alien technology, but again, this is all illicit dealings, and we aren't entirely sure why these three groups seem to be extra active of late. Again, we don't know anything for certain, but we believe these next two talking points will be or are possibly related. What you see here, as she clicks to the next slide, and it's a video, is some security footage from outside of a loading bay for one of the local technology companies. They were expecting a shipment of machinery, parts. We're not sure if it was completed products or parts for assembly, but as you can see, and as you watch the, it shows a truck pulling in, the drivers getting out, people from the docks showing up to, deal with the delivery, and then you see one person gets sent flying across the camera. You didn't see them at first; they were behind the truck. They get sent flying out, and everyone starts reacting. One of the security guards reaches for a weapon, and something from further, again off screen, gets chucked at the guard, and they're knocked down, and just fairly systematically, every person that you can see in the video is taken out by what seems to be a blurred figure. It's moving too quickly. The footage is too low quality to really capture it, until Athenas pauses it as the figures jumped onto the truck and has kind of reached back with one hand, or she shows it slashes the side of the truck open, and she replays it and pauses at the one clear frame they have, which shows what at first glance looks basically like Flint in his silver wolf form. And as Athenas pauses on this frame, she looks at your squad very intently, doesn't say anything. We appear to have a lycanthrope issue in the city. Now, this is our first sighting of them, but now that we have seen this footage, we are able to connect some past instances of crimes in the city, usually high corporate espionage and corporate backstabbing. But this is now our first clue that connects all those puzzle pieces. Now, we will be looking into this more in the future, but this is something we thought that you all should be aware of. And as she says, you all, she is once again looking at your squad in particular. That is the major updates for the city, as we are aware, but that is not yet the biggest piece of villainous activity that you all should be aware of. Now, the reason why we think all this uptick may be happening is for this. And she clicks to the next slide. And how many of you do you think pay attention to superheroics and supervillainy at a more national level and not just Port Arbor? So you would at least be passingly aware of this, even if you paid no attention at all. But what you see on the screen is a featureless, glowing purple humanoid. Almost looks like if you just took, a mannequin and just made it glowing purple. This, as you all are probably aware, is the villain who goes by the name of Mr. Master. A bit of a silly name, but we believe that he uses it somewhat ironically. He is primarily responsible for the organization of all underground activity in whichever city he has set up shop in. And we have reason to believe that he is making his way to Port Arbor in the near future. Now, part of the reason why he has been so dominant is because his powers are an unknown in their entirety, but from what we have been able to tell, it would appear that he is some kind of energy being, though none of our heroes with the ability to absorb energy have been able to affect him in any way. He can teleport anywhere, any place. It does not seem like he has any range or limit on it. The only thing we do know is he is not able to get past Paladin anti-teleportation technology. Otherwise, we are fairly confident he would have raised every single Paladin HQ to the ground. That is not to say that he hasn't tried in other cities, and she clicks through a few slides of showing devastated city centers that seem like they've just had chunks of buildings, vaporized and burned through. In addition to his teleportation, he is able to project energy blasts and a combination of invulnerability and invincibility, which you see her check her notes. I've been told the best way to describe this to you all in the younger generation is like the star power-up from Mario Kart.
There are murmurs from, oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh my gosh.
So, the only person that we know of who has had any kind of success in stopping him is the current overall head of the Paladins, the hero Omna, and flicks to the next slide, which is, again, if you pay attention to National Superhero Cell, you would know who Omna is. She is, essentially this world's Superman. Enhanced abilities in every regard, almost invulnerable. And as you all probably know, Omna, based on her name, can absorb and project any kind of energy. And we truly mean any kind. That includes kinetic and light and heat and goo blasters, anything you can think of. She can manipulate it. And she seems to be the one superhero that Mr. Master shows any hesitancy in fighting. And all those slides I showed you previously are the result of their conflicts before she was able to successfully drive him away from that city. Again, we are not entirely certain if he is making his way to Port Arbor, but based on the last few confirmed sightings we have had of him, he is certainly moving northwestward. He could be, days away, weeks away, months away. He could not even show up, but we thought it best all to give you all a reminder on him and the official protocol for squires, if you are to encounter Mr. Master out in the field, is to run away and then call it in so that someone else can work to delay him and deal with the situation. We do not want any of you to engage him. There have been some Squire fatalities in the past from some heroes who thought that perhaps they could get the drop on him. He is ruthless. He will stop at nothing to achieve his goals, which typically seems to be gaining control of a particular region's criminal underground. we believe that perhaps Foundry, Whisper, and Warehouse are all gearing up to prepare for Mr. Master arriving. Whether or not they seek to willingly become subservient to him or are attempting to fortify their defenses against him, we don't know. But we hypothesize that this is why they are becoming so active. I know this is a lot and fairly heavy, so we will take a break here so that you can process, refresh yourself, and then we will reconvene and go over the more mundane, regular crime statistics that we do in these meetings. And she clicks, the lights come back up, and she heads out through a side door, leaving you all now in a auditorium full of very nervous conversation amongst the other squires.
That guy kind of looked like Flint.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
So
Chloe had taken a picture of the slide with her phone and is furiously texting it to Flint.
Okay.
Has anyone
Like,
heard
tell
from
me
him?
this isn't you.
Yeah. You're still not getting any responses yet.
Has anyone heard
Do you
from
like
him
how my lights
recently?
flash to red just then? Oh, LB, I
Yeah.
think your mic might be muted, or no?
Oh,
You were moving your mouth and I wasn't hearing
sorry.
anything. It seems
Can
fine
you
now.
hear me now? Can you hear
Yes.
me now? Has anyone heard from him recently?
And you
No.
all saw him a few days ago now. You haven't had a official patrol together since then.
Would Chloe know whether or not he's like on a family trip or something?
I think that's certainly your first assumption. You did not specifically get any message from Flint saying like, "Hey, I'm going out of town with mom and dad for a little bit." But it has also happened in the past where he is, gone away for a week and then comes back and is like, "Oh crap, I forgot to tell you."
Okay, he's getting like 5 texts in rapid succession. So like, tell me this isn't you. Where are you? This is pretty bad. Listen, you might be in trouble. Text me when you can.
Should we just like go to his house? Just show up?
Is that okay?
Didn't hear that, LB.
Is that okay?
Hmm?
Hold on, my fan's blowing into that. It might be hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's okay? To like just show up?
He's not responding.
Kind of have to figure this out. I don't know if he's not going to answer his phone.
Is he? If he's like a werewolf, then are there others? Has he bitten anyone?
You guys haven't met his parents, have you?
Mm.
His whole family's like that.
Really?
More or less.
So it could have been one of them, or maybe like a distant relative.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah, how much of his like
do this?
How much of his like physical characteristics stay between transformations? Is it just like a wolf guy who has like a particular coloring that we're seeing, or
So
is this like Teen
the security
Wolf?
footage was black and white, so you can't tell coloring or patterns really. Yeah, I mean, just the footage was too low quality to
Was the critter
reliably tell
wearing a
anything like
domino
that.
mask?
Not that you were able to see, but and Chloe, you would know this, and you'd be able to tell the others that, at least for Flint's nuclear family, his dad looks like a guy, but has a wolf tail.
Yep.
And his mom, I think the words Tyler gave me was, 50s housewife, but with a wolf head.
Yes, this is correct.
And his parents are, they can't shift. They always have those lupine qualities to them, whereas Flint is able to, fully appear human and also go full werewolf. So that is what you now know about Flint's, immediate family and capabilities.
We can't leave right now.
Whoa.
Like,
Right.
this meeting is going to continue. It's going to be, like, people are going to be suspicious if we just suddenly disappear.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So, just finish this meeting and then go?
Yeah, definitely. Should we ask her? Because she was kind of, like, really looking at us.
I mean, so if we ask her and she says no, don't go.
Well, we're not going to ask permission to go
anything.
see him. I mean, we just want to make sure if there's, like, something we need to know that she knows. Or are you saying that, like, she's going to be like, stay away from this?
She might. I mean, best case scenario, we still go to his house to see what's going on. Worst case, the paladins try and stop us.
All right, you've got a point. You're very intelligent, Chrysalis. So,
Sorry.
wait out the meeting and then go.
Yeah. I mean, do they normally give out, like, assignments at the end of these meetings?
Sometimes, that your group is not slated to get an assignment immediately following this meeting.
Can we possibly flag her down before the break is over and, like, just quickly be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's relatively easy to do, though. Do you all go together to do this? Does just one of you go?
Like, sorry. I think while we're discussing, like, whether or not we should talk to her and whether or not we should go see Flint, like, Chloe, like, sees her moving across the room and just sort of stands up and starts heading towards her.
Yeah, so it's as Athenas is coming back in, but she's got, half the, the pit of the auditorium or the lecture hall to traverse before she gets to her podium. So if you're quick enough, you could intercept her.
Yep.
So
she'll do that.
Yeah.
She'll even like plant slide over there, just like to get through the crowd really quickly.
And definitely some reactions to you doing all that. You gather that at least some people are starting to look at your group and notice that Flint is not there. But also kind of as you're going, most of the whispers that you capture or that you overhear are people talking about Mr. Master and people freaking out about him. But
seems like bad news.
Yeah. So you get down to the to next to Athenas, who nods at you, very businesslike. Yes, Hemlock?
That can't be Flint.
Well, I sincerely hope it's not. But we will talk about this after the rest of the meeting. I do have a request for you and your team.
Do you know anything else about this? Like, what the heck is going on?
I know that Flint has not responded on any of his paladin's communication equipment since we found this footage, but we are still giving him the benefit of the doubt for now. And so once the meeting is over, I would like you and your squad to head to his home and see if you can determine anything.
Gotcha.
Now, I do have the rest of the meeting to get through. She says not unkindly, but very much like
Right.
Everyone in the lecture hall is watching you two at this point.
Essentially, yeah. Oh, she'll like just shift backwards, like, Understood. Slide back to her group.
So Themis will take the stage, dims the lights, clicks on the screen, and just starts going through, statistics of how many petty crimes there were and the very boring stuff that, I'm not gonna have us go through, but is presumably important for you all to be aware of.
Hemlock fills in the group on what she said.
Oh man.
All right, so works for us, I guess.
Can't hear you, Danae.
It's what we're gonna do to begin with.
Yeah. Okay.
So after, it feels extra long, but it's probably another hour or so of going through the basic information. And again, these are monthly updates, so they try and get everything in. But you are officially dismissed. Do you all rush out to go after, or do you try and play it relatively cool?
Super cash. Way too cash, actually.
Yeah. I will say, as you are heading out, one of the other squads that was sitting near you is a trio that you've heard of. They've been a solid squad for a bit together. They go by the hero names of Scylla, Charybdis, and then Umpteen. Scylla, has she can extend extra arms from her back that extend and get all bendy and elongated and stuff. Charybdis is essentially Kirby, can suck things in, doesn't gain attributes from them, but can emit a very strong suction force and then blow it back out. And Umpteen can make clones of himself that will then, fade away into ectoplasm or something. And as you all are heading out, you two kind of, meet in the aisle, and it's Charybdis who will start the conversation kind of awkwardly. And oh gosh, I'm sorry, but I just have to ask, do you all think that was a silver wolf?
No, he's not smart enough to pull something like this off.
Oh, okay. Gosh, it's just, he's newish in town, and I'm just saying what I'm sure everyone else is thinking. I know this is super awkward, but just...
Hemlock, glares, with murder eyes and says, do you think it was Silverwolf?
No?
Hey, then we don't need to be talking about this, do we? We don't think it, you don't think it, you're just gonna keep moving along?
Right, okay. And she gets very meek and shrinks into herself, and Scylla will kind of glare at the rest of you, but kind of takes her by the shoulders and starts moving her along, and Umpteen just kind of shrugs and then follows after the rest of his squad.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
You guys were pretty aggressive there. Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just need to mind their business is all.
Right. No, yeah, I totally agree.
Can't let people start talking like that.
Right. You're right. Sorry.
Let's go. Batman's into the other room. She Batman's a cape, swish, walk away. Does she have a cape? She has one now. It's a trench coat. Coat swish, walk away.
All right. Are you all taking the Kirby craft to fly there, or taking other means of transit?
Kirby craft. Why not?
Hmm.
Why
Is there
would we
anything
go any
extra
other
we
way?
get?
Sorry.
I mean, you could still take. You could take public transit for a bit. You do know that Flint's family is loaded, or rather, the extended family is. He's alluded to living in the pool house at his grandpa's estate. Chloe, you would know when he says pool house, it's still essentially a mansion in its own right, and there is,
Yeah.
A ginormous, sprawling estate that you would know that the rest of the Silverhound family lives in. And again, you've gathered that because Flint and his parents have recently moved to Port Arbor, they're still in the guest house. But yeah, so it is not in a location that there's not a bus stop right outside. It's in a gated community that's essentially a suburb of Port Arbor. So yeah, the Kirby craft is your best way of getting there.
Did Athenas want to talk to us?
Yeah.
I mean, she just kind of nods at you all as you stand up to leave. She doesn't call you over in particular.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm fine with just going.
Yeah.
All right, so you
Let's do it.
load into the Kirby craft. Say hi to. I always forget what have we called the mechanic who takes care of the Kirby craft? Is it just Joe or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep, there's just the the hapless mechanic who has to figure out this alien technology. But he waves to you as you load up and set off. As you approach, again, you get to kind of this suburb, and it is, as you are flying overhead, it is like a massive area, and it is gated all around with like this ostentatious, almost marble wall around. Trying to think of a ridiculous amount of space that is not too absurd. I don't know, like, how much fits in a square mile?
Actually, that's, yeah.
That's a lot.
Is that an acre?
No.
Gosh, how many acres in a square mile? 640 acres in a square mile.
Holy butts.
But now, is this just the Silverhound property, or is this the whole
It's like a
gated
compound.
neighborhood?
Oh.
I mean, so the Silverhounds have a compound. Certainly.
If it's outside of city limits, I don't think it'd be unreasonable for them to have a square mile.
Yeah.
Again,
I just bought some old farm and just turned it into this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
I mean, like, I don't think all of it is developed.
Yeah.
They've got some run-in woods.
Yeah. Probably, but so yeah, as you fly over, it's just this sprawling estate, and even though you're flying, are you in camo mode, or are you just flying through the air?
Camo mode?
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, so as you are flying past, you see at the gate into the compound that there is a not insignificant guard booth there, and what is private military almost, in terms of the level of the guards, keeping watch. And yeah, again, as you're flying, you see like some Humvees patrolling the perimeter. This is very heavy duty but you would also be aware that the Silverhounds are basically the richest family in Port Harbor.
This place is bigger than Hector's. And they have a big estate.
And also, I mean, this is a lot of security, right?
Right?
I
mean, they're werewolves.
I mean,
Are
I
they
know
all
they're
werewolves?
rich,
Or are there like werebears? Is there a were-alligator?
As far as you are aware, it is just Flint and his parents who have lichen properties. You don't know about the rest of his family.
Oh. I hope one of them's a were-tiger.
Okay.
So
we'll, like, Chloe will let us know where their house is and land close by?
Has Chloe... he's just recently moved in, right?
Yeah, I think you've been allowed to visit once since he moved in. And you get the sense that he has to ask, his grandpa is the family patriarch. And, to get you the security clearance to be allowed in.
Gotcha.
And so you point out which Olympic-sized swimming pool to head towards and the particular mansion of a guest house that is the home for him and his parents. And it's a mansion in its own right, but again, it is tiny compared to the sprawling estate that is the main building.
Why don't we have all of our parties here?
I don't think they want any parties here.
His grandpa's a real stickler for that sort of thing.
Is he like the people from Footloose?
I don't know.
I've never seen it.
I don't really talk to him. It's always been Flint who does that.
Okay.
Again, you have not interacted with his grandpa enough. Flint seems to have a good enough opinion of him. And it's just like, oh yeah, my grandpa's got these, rules about security, and we just have to, he does get to say, whether or not people come in to visit, so we just have to go along with it. But yeah, he's a great guy.
He has an opinion about everybody, though.
Yeah, your point.
she just knows what that means. She knows what that means.
Yeah. But you find the correct abode and set down the Kirby craft. Where are you landing? Are you trying to hide on the other side from the main estate, or?
Yes.
I'm trying not to prime you, but I'm also trying to figure out how clandestine are you all trying to be.
I mean, I feel like once, or at least Corvid, at least once she gets over this facility, sees what's going on, she's like, we're gonna go full stealth mode.
Yeah.
Get behind put the Kirby craft down behind a tree, so that even though it's invisible, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super stealth.
Yeah. And there are plenty of wooded areas around. Some places that seem like it's been kept intentionally natural, some that are, appear to be sculpted to be like a national park-esque sort of hiking area. There are also, plenty of orchards around the property. But next to the pool house in particular, it's just, an expanse of trees that you're able to navigate the Kirby craft through without breaking too many branches.
I kind of wanted her to park it behind a bush, but I think Subrina's not that dumb.
It's your character.
No, I think she's like, alright, this is actually serious time now.
Yeah, so...
Should I go in first as a squirrel or something? Wait, no, not a squirrel. Maybe a bird?
That's not a bad idea, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna be a falcon.
All right. Can I like establish a telepathic link so we can just be in communication?
Yes.
I will do that.
I will bird up and give them a... Bird wings can't bend that way, but she gives like a...
You're a shapeshifter. You can make them bend that way.
Yes! She gives a salute.
It's a little discerning. Not discerning.
Concerning.
Disconcerting, yeah. To see a birdwing bend like that, but soon enough she's off and flying towards the guest house.
That's me as a bird flying.
Brava.
Thank you. I do a lot of my own stunts. Yeah, I'm gonna do a drive-by. I don't know which room's Flint's or whatever, but I'm gonna try and like look in the windows as I'm like circling the house.
Yeah, and I mean, as you're circling, it's dark inside. I mean, no lights are on, but it's also still, early afternoon, so plenty of natural light, but seems like everything is just kind of neatly set up like you would for, putting a house on the market and making it look nice for an open house. It does not seem lived in currently.
I will radio into Kevin. It looks empty to me.
What?
I don't know.
I'll tell Chloe. All right, maybe we should bust in.
Gotta find out what's going on here.
All right, I'll check the doors. Gonna check the doors first as a bird, and then realize that's dumb, and then and then turn back into Corvid and try and like dim my lights, and see if I can open the door.
Okay. I don't know if there's a role for this. I will say certainly you try the obvious doors and they are all locked. Is it still just Corvid out there on her own, or are the two of you going to join her?
Yes.
I was planning on joining.
Yeah, so once Chloe is out there with you, you're able to point like, oh yeah, that's Flint's room, the window to his room up there, and it's actually, it's not just a window, it's a balcony. He has a balcony to step out on.
Would Chloe know if they have a security system?
Oh, most certainly, yeah.
This seems, like, is it possible... This is such a it's so far-fetched. Is it possible that she knows, like, the code? Like, once you open the door, like, you go in, you punch in the code, and the alarm doesn't go off?
I think I want you to roll for this. I'm not sure what role it would be, though.
Mundane, probably. Like, my argument is that it's like, oh, Chloe, like, if you happen to step out for any reason, like, we have a security system, so, like, be sure to punch in this code. And so, like, if she, like, seems, like, trustworthy and innocuous enough to be, like, given that information.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. Go ahead and roll plus mundane.
Nah. That's an 8.
Okay, so a mixed success, so I will say... I mean, the doors are still locked, but having pointed out Flint's balcony, if any of you make your way up there, you would find that the door to the balcony is unlocked. And so you would be able to get into Flint's room.
Like
and
vine whip up there.
Yeah, and so Chloe, you would see, there's like a panel, an innocuous panel that is subtly flashing that you know to be, oh, this is a security panel. So you go over, you input the code, no alarm sounds. and you are all in the room. And I will say that this room does look much more like a teenage boy's room. So Flint has obviously been in here. It is a mess. It is stinky. I'm making assumptions about Flint's character, but given the situation, it is a bit more of a mess than you would actually expect of a teenage boy's room to be. Almost like someone left here in a bit of a hurry.
It's a pizza box with a jock strap inside.
I can't believe I'm in Flint's room.
Why?
No reason. Is it always this messy?
Whether or not he's had somebody in to clean it. Hemlock's gonna look around for clues.
I would like to roll investigation, please.
Sadly, that is not a role in this game, but I do believe. We'll say that one of you can roll to assess the situation. Again, the questions aren't great for this situation, but you can assess the situation. One of you can help out, so that would give a +1 to the roll, but if it fails, you both suffer the consequences.
I'll help whoever's doing it.
This is a plus superior roll.
Yeah, I have a +0.
I'll do it.
I believe in you.
All right, so I get a +1.
Yes.
Yeah, Corbin's eyes glow a little bit brighter, and you see like sort of spotlights as she is looking around the room. And then like she'll lift something up. Is this a clue to Chloe? That is a 7.
Good thing you got that +1.
Yes, it is.
Helping.
Yeah.
Yay.
I guess you can
Friendship
pick one
is
of the questions from the list, or you can ask another question, and you will get the answer to it, assuming it doesn't just give away everything.
Yeah. Okay, what is wrong here?
Okay. So what is wrong here is you've gathered that, yes, this place is a mess. You also would be, a reasonable inference that there's an army of servants who would normally come in to clean the place.
Mm-hmm.
If Flint has been gone for any amount of time, then probably these servants would have been in here to clean. So either he has just very recently left and for whatever reason made more of a mess than would be typical, or he's been gone for, since you last saw him a few days ago, and for whatever reason the servants have not been directed to clean his room. And again, the rest of the house looked like no one has been living there, so looked immaculately clean.
I guess, is there any specific item that's out of place that seems like it's weird to be there? Like a dropped something from someone.
I will say that
To be more specific.
You do find his silver wolf domino mask on just like a mannequin head that he keeps on the dresser, that he has stuck like wolf ears and a askew snout onto.
Seems right.
Bless.
Flint wouldn't have left this, right?
Not if he was being Silverwolf.
All right. Do we want to go check out the main house? Look around here more? Or we can try and snag one of those guards and question them.
Let's look around the house first.
And as you all go to leave Flint's room, you open the door, and standing there are 3 individuals. There are two of the paramilitary security force, one man, one woman there. They've got great trigger discipline, so, not guns aimed at you, but still very heavily and obviously armed. And standing in between the two is an older man with a long mane of silver hair, hands clasped before him on a wolf's head cane. Very burly and grizzled. He's clearly got old man strength. And Hemlock, you would be aware that this is Flint's grandfather, Cornelius Silverhound.
I see. I want to say that Silverhound is not aware of Chloe's secret identity. In fact, I think the only people who are aware of that would be the paladins and like my squad in general.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. I think that we react non-threateningly. Oh.
And
we can explain.
I think, young lady, that I have most of the idea of what is happening. Flint has not reported for his Silver Wolf duties in a few days. And you, as his dear, dear friends, came to check on him. Now, why
you can explain
why you did not, check in at the front door is a question that we shall ignore for now. But you should know that Flint is not currently in Port Arbor. He'll be back before the week is over, but I would very much appreciate it if you would get back into that fascinating craft you have parked behind the trees out there and leave post-haste.
Well, I mean, there's something you either don't know or you left out, and either way I'm curious. The lycanthrope that's committing crimes and stuff that's been caught on footage that looks a lot like Flint here in town.
Hemlock has a picture on their phone.
Joe's phone.
He looks
quietly and ominously.
He looks very surprised and, leans in close to squint at it. That is indeed troubling. I can't imagine that Flint would do something like that. But regardless, I must still insist that you leave. You may be superheroes, but you are technically trespassing currently.
Okay, can we come back to talk to you later?
Once Flint has returned, I will discuss with him, and we will see about talking this over with the Paladins. I'm sure we will get to the bottom of this, but again, I must politely insist that you leave, and we will resolve this once Flint has returned to Port Arbor.
Where is Flint?
Did he not tell you? He and his family are going on a brief vacation. They're going skiing.
Water skiing or ice skiing?
There's snow skiing. They're over in Utah for some skiing up in the mountains there. Hold on, I just realized what season it is. This is not him being clueless. This is me realizing even, we're getting close to summer.
Canada. He's in Canada.
He's gone to Canada up north for some skiing.
Right.
All right. I was just going to ask, anyone else that this could be that you know of?
Not as far as I know. we're all very proud of Flint in the Silverhound family and what he's chosen to do with his abilities. If this is him, we may have to be less proud.
Definitely not Flint. Flint couldn't do this.
I sincerely hope not.
I don't want to assume anything about your family. I've been told about Flint's parents, but if you or one of your friends, and she motions to the other two, have super smelling capabilities, it seems that Flint's room is more messy than usual. Perhaps someone was in here.
Kind of looks past you into the room. I've told that boy countless times that just because we have servants doesn't mean he can leave all the cleaning to them. He has to make his room at least presentable. I will give him a lecture upon his return about cleanliness and tidiness.
Right, but this could have been someone else.
You have spent some time with my grandson. I am sure you have noticed that he can be a bit absent-minded.
When did they leave for Canada?
Oh, it would have been, what was it, 3-4 days ago? Which mostly lines up with when you all last saw him.
I don't trust. I'm going to try and read this guy's mind. I don't trust him.
Okay.
I don't either.
So there's two options here, two options for Kevin. You can try and use your powers to try and do it, and any of the rest of you could attempt to pierce the mask.
Okay.
Which is the closest there is to an insight check.
That is all Chloe has been doing, is just squinting at him very suspiciously.
Piercing the mask is roll plus mundane, and on successes you get to ask a number of questions. You're not going to try, Corvid.
Okay. I'm just trying to use my powers.
And yes, for Kevin, I believe for you that would just be a
Superman
roll. Okay, so that is a 3 for Hemlock, so you do get to mark experience, but yeah, he is just, he is... You have the idea that he's obviously leaving something out, but whether it's just, doesn't want you prying into the family business, or if there's something more nefarious going on there, you can't honestly say. He just seems like he's doing a bit of the grumpy, hey, you kids, get off my lawn, but in a very refined, gentlemanly way. For Chrysalis, with an 11, that's a full hit. So what you get is, I feel like we've talked about this before, how like generally people's thoughts aren't super readable in like full clear sentences, but you definitely get annoyance both at your group, at Flint, and at another party that you don't know necessarily, but you get the brief sentence of like, damn Reginald getting caught on camera. Taught him better than that. Hope he enjoys his exile. And then the thoughts kind of start blurring away, and that's as much as you're able to concretely get.
All right.
Okay. We'll just go then. It was nice to meet you. I'm Corvid.
Oh yes, I am quite aware of who you are, and I wish we had been able to meet under better circumstances. But again, I must insist that you please leave now.
Right. Thank you.
Still has like a telepathic link with us, right? Does he fill us in that we've got some information to work off of?
I don't think yet. I think I'm going to be okay with the leaving plan.
Okay.
Thank you for your cooperation, Grandpa.
He seems a little taken aback. Please just stick with Mr. Silverhound for the time being.
My apologies. She's like actually embarrassed. And Corvid like turns and like her glowing eyes are kind of like wide, like.
The three of them in the hallway reposition to like step away to allow you to exit, but very clearly like funneling you out to,
Right.
to the
Sorry,
doors.
we're just gonna go out the window again.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to.
We're all going out the window. Yet they step aside to let us through, and then we all just like turn around and go out the window. But like, Hemlock will go last, and she'll like pause on the balcony, and she'll like look over her shoulder and say, "I'm sure we'll speak again soon."
As soon as we get back to the Kirby craft, that was so cool.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Don't say anything! Don't say anything!
Okay. And we lift off and start flying away.
I think
Then
that-
I'll tell everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chrysalis fills you all in on what he was able to gather, and I think that is a good place for us to end our session for tonight.
Yeah.
I want to like our comic book panel where we end off is Hemlock texting once more on top of this pile of texts. She sends one more and it says, "Who's Reginald?"
To be continued. Dun, 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 dun. Woo, that was quite the session, y'all. We hit like both ends of the emotional spectrum, but it was all very good. Here, let me make the music less intense for wrapping up. Okay, so thank you, everyone. We've got some end of session stuff to do for the game. So let's get that card open for the start and end of session. So at the end of every session, choose one. Grow closer to the team. Explain who made you feel welcome. Give influence to that character in clear condition or mark potential. Grow into your own image of yourself. Explain how you see yourself and why. Shift one label up and another down. Or grow away from the team. Explain why you feel detached. Take influence over you away from another character. Does anyone know which they're picking yet?
Yeah, I think Subrina grew closer to Chloe, definitely in the slumber party scene.
Yeah.
I also think Chloe grew closer to Sabrina under
Sorry,
duress.
Kevin.
Okay, but slow down a little bit because you give each other influence. If you already have influence over someone, you get to shift their labels.
I did not have influence over Chloe.
I also did not have influence.
Okay,
over you.
so you take influence, and then you both get to either clear a condition or mark potential.
I'm marking.
I'm marking.
I've filled it. I filled my potential
All right,
track.
so you can pick one of your advancements, which you can decide now and tell us, or you can figure it out before next session.
Oh boy.
While you're doing that, David, what's Kevin thinking?
Not sure. I think I'm gonna go with closer to the team as well. And I'm gonna go with grew closer to Subrina because of the learning about the home planet and all that kind of stuff.
Very good. Did you already have influence, or did Subrina already have influence over Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then Subrina, you get to shift his labels, one up, one down.
Oh boy, hold on. Kevin, I'm going to. That's not you. Where are you, Kevin?
Chrysalis.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't see Kevin anywhere. I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna shift up your mundane and down your superior.
Okay.
All right. That is it for the mechanical housekeeping, but also got stars and wishes. And I know it's been a minute since we've played the game and done this, but so as a reminder, stars are something that you thought was really cool that happened in this session that another player did, or could be something that you did as well. And then wishes is something that you want to see or hope to see.
I'll go first.
All right.
My star was the Flint impression, like just choice. Loved that. The fucking thing with the all of the other 50 areas first. That was really good. 10 out of 10. Loved that.
Thank you.
My wish is more something on me that I need to like remind myself. I want to interact with Kevin more. I feel like Chloe and Kevin could be fucking nerds together. It'd be great.
Right. Very good.
That is my wish.
All right. Elby or David?
My star is I hate to pump this all on Alex, but the setup, that whole scene with the like the going over all the information, I think that was really like kind of brought us back into the world and like how like the day-to-day of being a superhero or a paladin and that sort of stuff. So I liked that scene a lot. And yeah, and then I think my wish is that this like mystery, I really kind of want it, like in my head I really want it to go like Scooby-Doo style, where we're like it just like a fun figuring out the mystery sort of thing. And I hope we don't die.
They usually didn't die in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Kevin. Or David.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw Kevin first in Zoom.
I think star would probably just be the slumber party scene. That was hilarious. It has to at least have one person do it as a star. And wish, I don't know. The nerd stuff of like an alien civilization and wormholes and things like that is very fun. I guess I kind of wish that Subrina's people can generate negative mass or negative energy, because it opens up a lot of fun things like wormholes and warp bubbles and craziness. But it'd be an interesting world all of a sudden.
We shall have to see. And then for me, I think my star goes to David for the very relatively subtle way that Kevin reacted to the disaster of the hangout with Jade. Just being like, oh, this was a disaster. And then you rolled a 2 and it's like, yep, this was absolutely a disaster. And then my wish is I'm very curious to see how Tyler reacts to all this and suddenly finding out, oh, hey, this is, surprise, your family drama is happening while you were gone.
Honestly, it like upped the stakes so much more It's all like, oh god, oh no, what's happening?
Yeah, and like this, I was planning on doing this. I was hoping that Tyler would be here, but in a way, it almost works better that he was absent. So hopefully, we have Tyler back next time and can bring him up to speed and get Flint's take on all this. And hopefully, we will be able to have that happen in 2 weeks from now. But otherwise, our schedule is as normal. Thursday for Elegant Magics, Friday Neon Souls, Saturday is going to be session 1 of season 2 of Saturday Night Star Power. Still very JoJo's Bizarre Adventure inspired, but they're now in the Fate system. Sunday should be Vason and Thursday's Children. And then next Tuesday, we'll be back with some Call of Cthulhu goodness. We left that off with the creepy neighbors had a barbecue where everyone was like brainwashed and toasting at the same time, and we are the only ones who are obviously not. So we'll see how that goes. So you'll have to turn in then. But the best way to do that is follow us here on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, subscribe to our YouTube. That way, if you can't catch us live, you can see all the stuff that we post there. And yeah, just all our socials is the best way to know what we're up to. And we also, I don't think any of us have any to show off, but we do have some merch. We've got that linked. You can get mugs, t-shirts, sweaters, phone cases that mostly, they have some silly sayings that we've said in some of our shows. They've also got our logo, lots of good stuff there. I think that's it for housekeeping. Anyone else got anything either on or off the channel you wish to plug? All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you, audience, for hanging with us, whether you are here live or in the future watching the VOD or on YouTube. And so, until next time, good game and good night, Internet.